All right, hello everyone. Hope you're doing well and welcome to Play It Forward DAO's AMA event. My name is Gary Koay, aka G Koay, and I'll be your host for today. Before we get things started or kicked off, let's do some introductions of the panel that will be answering your questions. Now, first up, we got Janze de Guzman. Janze is the CEO and co-founder of P2E board and head of strategy at Play It Forward. PIF. Before joining PIF, he was a tech-focused management consultant to top banks in North America with prior experience at the IMF in Washington, D.C. Janze is also co-founder and CEO at Leaderboard, a sports league and tournament platform. Hello, Janze. Thank you for joining today. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm great. Thanks for having me, Gary.
Cheers, man. Next up, of course, we have no other than Cholo Maputal, also a friend of mine from when I first came here to Singapore 8 years ago. Cholo is the CEO of Play It Forward. Prior to co-founding PIF, he built a long career in TradeFi, most recently leading the DCM business for ANZ Bank in ASEAN, and previously held the same role in Merrill Lynch, some big banking names being dropped here. Cholo has been an active investor in crypto since 2017 and is a passionate believer in the potential of Web3 and the play to earn ecosystem. Sup, Cholo, long time no see. Glad to have you here today.
Glad to be on, Harry, and ready to get started.
Yeah. Now, just before we get started, I do have some housekeeping notes for anyone tuning in on the Zoom webinar right now and anyone that is listening on the Twitter spaces. So for those on the Zoom right now, you'll see a poll launching. We just want to know kind of where and how did you find out about today's AMA event. So please put in your votes and just let us know. And to ask any questions during today's session, if you are on Zoom, there's an official Q&A box area. So if you have any questions that you want us to ask live here, just throw it into that official Q&A box. If you are listening on Twitter, there is a hashtag that we're going to be following. So hashtag AskPIFDAO. So that's hashtag ASKPIFDAO. Just throw that hashtag and your questions in, and someone on the team will bring it into today's session, and I'll ask the panelists live. If you have any questions specific to a panelist, just make sure you let us know whether you want maybe Cholo or Janze to answer. If not, I'm just going to keep it as an open question. Now, today's session will be recorded and will be uploaded to PIFDAO's YouTube channel, so you don't miss anything if you got to duck out early. So no FOMO, don't worry about that. Now that we got all the introductions started, I got some pre-made questions to get things started. So as we get some live questions, hopefully later, let's start off with some opening questions. So I guess question one for you guys, like, why are you so passionate about blockchain and like the play to earn gaming world? Cho, let's start with you.
Sure. So as you mentioned, I've been an investor in blockchain actually from 2017. Really been interested in the space. I think really been focused on what the technology can bring to people, both in terms of financial rewards, but also making it a bit more accessible. Some of these things that traditionally have been very centralized. And really play to earn is the next evolution of that mindset of Web3 decentralization, right? It's bringing really a lot of financial rewards and a lot of opportunities to people that are playing these games, contributing to building that community, and then being able to earn from that, from kind of like contributing to everything in that space, right? So I think play to earn is super interesting. It's really everyone's a gamer at heart. Everyone likes to play games, and if you can make a bit of money off of play to earn, why not, right? And that's really where we kind of started in this whole journey. We'll talk about that a bit later, but that's really what got me excited, because it really is giving this opportunity to a lot of people that may not have had access to it in the past.
Nice. Janze, what about you?
Yeah, Cholo put it up very nicely. I also just got started in crypto in 2017. Heard of Bitcoin way back, but didn't get involved until 2017. But back then I was more of a researcher and speculator in the space. And while I believe in the technology, It's not until I came across GameFi that I really started to be heavily involved. And like Cholo said, we're gamers at heart. Him and I, we've been playing games together since high school, actually. So we're really into games. And when this happened, it was like the perfect combination. You get blockchain, you get gaming, and it was just an easy path for us to take. And once we got started in July of last year, there was no stopping. Things just kept going and going, and this is why we are here now. It's just our interest driving our passion for the space. And play to earn, at its core, it's being driven by providing economic opportunities to people. And we at PIF actually believe in that message. It's very empowering, and it's this is a space that we are passionate and willing to pursue in the long run.
Yeah, you guys mentioned bringing opportunities for people who traditionally don't have access to that. Can you tell me a little bit more about why that is, or what's the meaning behind that for you guys?
Sure. Why don't I start? So if you think about traditional gaming and traditional gaming models, right? So like a game like World of Warcraft or Diablo or StarCraft, there's millions of people playing this game. And while they do earn kind of items or rewards or achievements in that game, that that IP and that achievement stays within that game. So if you wanted to go and say sell some of the loot you make in World of Warcraft, you have to go and find it in an open market via Reddit, some other forums, to try and find that counterparty to get you that to sell that item to. When you think about play to earn, it democratizes the whole thing, because everything has an overlay in a cryptocurrency or a token or a blockchain. It allows people to essentially have a very specific dollar value attached to their achievements and their work in the game, and it allows them to, again, really play this game, do really well in it, and then the rewards they make can be converted into fiat or spendable currency. And I think that's a very important shift in terms of how we think about gaming and more broadly. And that's really what came and put gave rise to this whole concept of guilds, around being able to then take these these NFT assets, which you would need to play a play to earn game, give it in the hands of people who may not be able to afford it, and give them that opportunity for them to earn those rewards and make an income for themselves. And that's really where we kind of started with the model. We started out all managing our own small scale guilds, just trying to do it as a side hustle. And then we really saw the potential in this space. That's why we kind of combined together and put forward PIF DAO, which is a large part of it is PIF Guild, which is 3,000 plus players in Philippines and Indonesia, and continuing to grow in certain these markets. And that's really where we saw a lot of the pain points around managing these guilds. And that kind of led us into the platform P2E board that Janze runs, and really try to bring that outcome to more and more people at large. So I'll let Janze talk a bit about why we decided to go and pursue the platform, and what that does that a typical guild would not really enable.
Yeah, sure. I guess that's a good segue to the platform. So I guess at P2E board, really, our mission is to make play to earn easier and safer for everyone, right? And we're not just talking about non-crypto natives or crypto natives. We also want non-crypto natives, like gamers at heart, who have no prior exposure to blockchain. So P2E board, like the platform, was created to really make the matching of scholars, guilds, managers easier through our marketplace features. So we're all about connecting all the different stakeholders in the space, while at the same time providing tools to guilds that want to run scholarships, giving them the tools that they need to engage their communities and grow their members, right? So we are very scholar focused, player focused, and guild focused. But at the same time, we're interested in growing the play to earn space itself. And a lot of the features that we have and our thinking behind the platform and that Play It Forward is really to attract new participants in the space. So there's a few challenges that we want to tackle in this regard. First is the high barriers of entry into the space, not just the price of acquiring these assets to start playing the games, but also the understanding of crypto, and play to earn. Like, what does it mean? To most people, crypto is still new. Play to earn even newer, or cryptic.
Yeah.
So a lot of the people we meet don't even know where to start. They're interested, but they don't know where to start. So part of our mission is to explain the space to them, to kind of encourage them to give it a try, right? On another hand, once these people get started, we want them to not leave the space. Based on conversation with people, we've heard of participants who left the space after a few weeks because they were doing things the wrong way. And there's a lot of opportunity costs to that, because that shows that there's demand in the space, but there's not enough knowledge shared going, and people just vacate the space. So we want people who we are able to attract to actually stay in the space, to increase the retention in P2E. And I guess lastly, through the platform, we want to encourage participation among the different stakeholders, scholars, guilds. We want to focus on community building. So part of our mission in the platform, as you may see on other posts, multi-game, multi-guild approach. So it's really a community of different guilds. And at the same time, it's a place where gamers can have access to the different play to earn games out there. And part of our mission, not having scholars spend to acquire these assets, but rather to focus on playing them and having fun, and at the same time benefiting from the economic opportunities provided by P2E.
So with P2E board, you mentioned a scholarship program, right? It sounds like what do you have? You're having investors and management in that board who want to give their experience and want to invest into the things. So that what provides opportunities for the scholars, which are AKA like the players who want to get into the gaming and earning the play to earn area to then play, and they don't know, so that you guys have that community to kind of guide them and lead them. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that's a big part of what we do. In the platform, you have these guilds who have already acquired the assets necessary to start playing the game. And what I'll kind of describe it as lending these assets to scholars or players who want to play the game, in turn having fun, but at the same time sharing in the rewards that are earned by playing the game. So, when scholars play these games, the rewards are then claimed by the guilds, and at the end of the day, they share those rewards. So it's a very mutualistic relationship, and it benefits both parties. Scholars are able to play games and have fun and still share in the rewards, while at the same time, guilds who have purchased these assets are able to lend them out and at the same time offer opportunities to their guild members.
See. Okay, so I got a live question here from someone anonymous here, but it's attendee. Gamers, players specifically, are busy playing the games and don't realize the facts about technology or the blockchain world is also there for them to change. Okay, but generally the question is, so how does PIF DAO educate the gamers who are not knowledgeable about cryptocurrencies and things related to the blockchain technology? So I think it's more a question of like, how do the guild management and the whole ecosystem train and help these players learn more about everything? Like, what's that process like?
Sure. Maybe I'll start, and really how we kind of have a vision for Play It Forward DAO. What we really want to achieve with PIF DAO is we want to make the space more accessible. As Janze mentioned, there's a lot of complexity around getting started as either a guild or a player in play to earn. And we want to make it super simple for anyone to just come in and just play, really plug and play in that true sense. And that's what we want to achieve first via the guild and also via the platform, is we want any player to want to start exploring this play to earn space to be able to come in and really get started. And that we do that too because we pay our players in fiat, so we pay them in peso, in local currency essentially, so that they can just put their heads down and focus on playing the game and doing really well in the game and getting a good outcome from the game. But it's also, I would say, play to earn is a very unique wedge into Web3 and into blockchain adoption. And really, once these players get to understand that, hey, I can actually make a good living from play to earn, I want to learn more about it. The guilds, I think, have that responsibility to educate these players around how they can do better and how they can use their play to earn experience to expand into places like DeFi or Web3, and really start to understand the space and become a much more a valued contributor into that space. And that's what we want to do in PIF as well. We want to start rolling out education campaigns to our scholars, both within our guild, but also the scholars we can touch base with through the platform, start to educate them around what else is there in cryptocurrency that can be financially rewarding, and we can be kind of that Trojan horse, that entry point for them into DeFi and really experience what the space has to offer.
Yeah, and I noticed you guys also have like a Discord channel where you guys have mods in there where if anyone scholar-wise or interested in want to kind of ask general questions or couldn't find the questions or answers, there seems to be a really big community in your Discord channel where they can just ask there too, right? So I'm guessing that's part of the whole ecosystem community you guys are talking about. Is that correct?
Precisely. So yeah, we want them to essentially, and we're here to help. We've of course kind of like gone through the space. We're big believers in the space, and we've done quite a bit in terms of just exploring. And we're very approachable. So any scholar, any player, any token holder can just approach us and bounce some ideas off us. Hey, maybe we might actually use them. We might actually do them in the future. So that's what Web3 is about, right? Democratizing access and giving back the idea, the power of the idea to everyone.
Nice. So I have a question for any potential sponsors or investors out there listening. Let's say I'm not interested at being a scholar, but I potentially want to invest in Play It Forward and this community and trying to build this whole thing, right? What is the benefit in kind of throwing down some money and helping create these guilds, or helping, just invest or sponsor these guilds so other people can play and get into this ecosystem?
Sure.
Want to take that? Yeah.
I can start, and then I'll pass it to Janze in terms of the platform side. So like when we design and we went, we've done a lot of kind of like ideating around the tokenomics of the PIF token. When we look at, I would say, what are the value accruals, or how does a token increase in price? One is we are kind of like really focused on profitability and having profitable investments in tokens as well as NFT assets that we can either deploy into the guild for players to yield farm in the games that we operate, but also at the same time, really picking the right games to back that we feel are going to be the really stalwarts and the strongest kind of performers in this space. So the over time, the token will increase in value because of that profitable investment piece, and also the yield generation that our scholars are making. We also want to be, we are a community first project, and we want to continue to give back to the community via token buybacks. So a portion of our profits on an ongoing basis will be allocated to buy back tokens in open market. That will have the effect of reducing token outstanding supply, but also generating significant ongoing buying pressure, which will help the token increase in price over time. And that's what we want to do with regards to the treasury, the guild, and management of the DAO's liquidity. But of course, we do have really big plans for the platform as well that the Janze can talk about.
Right. Yeah. On the platform side, it's really all about enablement for the participants in the space, right? It's really play to earn. In the future, we're hoping that the shift will be more towards play and earn, right? So that's part of the vision that we want to drive. So it's heavily focused on both the gamers and the guilds, particularly because guilds also help enable the participants in the space. So kind of the vision in long term is having this plug and play action for play to earn gamers, wherein they go into the platform, they go shopping for games that they want to play. Hey, I like this game, I click play, and and then they start playing, without having to understand, blockchain or what powers this whole movement. And that's enabled by having these guilds, who in turn are also empowered by having investors who are interested in driving growth in this space. So it's a very intertwined ecosystem in our view. All participants are important. All stakeholders who participate in this space are building on each other's success. But at the end of the day, this is play to earn. Fun is at the core of this, while reward is there as well. But we're really focused on giving gamers, the special attention that they need, because this, after all, is about playing, right?
Well, the gaming industry is massive these days, right? And it just continues to grow. All right, we got more questions here. Let's take this one. So Player for a Doubt announced the completion of your private round by reaching 6 million. This guy wants to congratulations on that raise, and I want to congratulate you guys as well.
Thank you.
So the question, yeah, man, that's huge. So who were the main participant companies? And what are the main aspects of your platform that you hope to improve and develop with this round of funding?
That's a great question. I'll take that first, and then Janze can close off again in terms of like where we want to take the platform in the near term. So yeah, great raise. Really an affirmation that what we're doing really is meant to touch multiple lives and really expand the space. In terms of the key lead investors for our funding round, the round was led by Signum Capital, Kyber Ventures, and UOB Venture Management. With also very strong participation from other funds such as Jump Capital, GBV, LD Capital, AU21, Toko Crypto, Double Peak, Great Southgate, Octava, and a couple of others. Again, really what we achieve via the funding round is both from a funding standpoint, which is very helpful in us executing roadmap, but also this massive network that we can plug into to really drive the strategy and to really drive outcomes for our community. And I think that's really what's exciting, because we have essentially some of the largest names in crypto that can get us plugged into the right projects, the right access into the right protocols that will enable us to really build something great here. With regards to the use of the funding, we will expand our treasury assets via investments in governance tokens as well as NFT assets, and of course continue to invest into the people and the tech to really build out the strategy. And with that, I'll pass it to Janze to talk a bit about where he sees kind of like the platform going from here.
Right. Yeah, so on the platform side, I mean, our tagline is really making play to earn easy and safe, right? So in terms of accessibility, you know, we focus on features that really connect people. So that's why we have, you know, a whole section dedicated to marketplaces. You know, we have a board where scholars can put on their profile so that other guilds can look them up and kind of, you know, browse through their gaming history, and then, you know, even invite them to the guilds. This way, you know, like it's like I said, we're very player centric. You know, like gamers are able to build up their profiles, their entire gaming history, their performance, and in a way that also opens up other opportunities for them. You know, maybe guilds and, you know, or esports, or, you know, that's a common focus of our discussions for the long term. So in terms of accessibility, we want people to focus on the gaming part of it and not the technology behind it, like blockchain. You don't really have to go through the hoops. Those we take care of for the gamers. On the other side of it is safety. You know, crypto has this you know, reputation for, you know, having bad actors in the space. So part of what we want to provide to our users and the community is, you know, that feeling of safety, that this is a space that they can participate in and be part of in the long run. So, you know, we actually encourage our users to link to their profiles. You know, this way people can vet if they are real people, or, you know, not just scammers with anonymous profiles. So, you know, your Facebook profiles, Discord, even Google, they can link all those accounts, and we encourage them. That way, you know, guilds can, you know, easily authenticate their identity and can onboard them sooner, and they can start playing their games. But I guess lastly, we also focus on opportunity, right? Play to earn, a big driver of that really is the economic opportunities that it presents. And our belief in PIF and in the platform is strongly rooted in that desire to provide financial opportunities to people. You know, when you think about gamers having that historical data being stored in their profiles, you know, they can move up into other roles in the ecosystem or in guilds. Prime example is our own guild. You know, we had scholars who have moved up to become admins, or even graphic designers, or managers. So there's a lot of other things that can be done in the space. Guilds, you know, have different roles. You don't just have to be a manager or a scholar playing games. There's a lot of in-betweens, right? So that's the kind of vision we have, at least in the near to medium term. Long term, I mean, we're starting ideating for that. Lots of exciting things, but we'll get to that when we're closer to those those in reality.
That sounds cool. It sounds like it's like the platform as well offers a potential career opportunity through gaming that is not usual in, like, I guess, traditional standards, right? Like you can start playing, you start, getting into some chats here and there, learning about things, and then through that experience, you might jump into another way, build out your portfolio, like, or CV through the game, and you might get headhunted by another guild to come play for something else, things like that, right?
Yeah, correct. That's a great point, actually, because when you right now it's more common, I'd say, that one scholar plays one game, but in reality, we keep pushing multi-guild, multi-game. In the future, one scholar or gamer, we like to call him gamer, can play multiple games in a day, and they can play different sets of games tomorrow. It doesn't have to be the same game for the fixed time of the day. It's like going to this arcade and you pick and choose which game you want to play in the game, and at the end of the day you just kind of tally your rewards, and then you go back the next day and you do the same thing. So that's kind of the vision we have right now, like kind of this walk-in arcade in the P2E metaverse.
Cool. All right, let's kind of go to another question here. We got one from Katrina over from Twitter. Her question is, can you detail what will be the use cases of Play It Forward DAO token within the Play It Forward DAO technology ecosystem? How important will it be? And if you can explain how the supply distribution has been designed.
That's a great question. And while I'll talk about some of the use cases we have in mind with regards to within the Play It Forward DAO from that standpoint, and then we can also talk about on the platform side, what are some of the use cases there. So for the DAO, the main use case is really around having a stake or having a share in the profits and revenues of the DAO taken as a whole. And you do that by a number of ways. One is by actively taking your PIF token and staking it in our staking pools, which would then give you a return based on an emission schedule that we set from the community allocation of our token. The other is somewhat indirect, but also kind of linked to the share of the profit concept. As I mentioned earlier, we will allocate a share of the ongoing profits of the DAO to essentially buy back tokens in the open market, which is via the constant buying pressure, but also the reduced token circulating supply. It will have an impact of an upward bias or an upward push on the token price, which benefits all token holders equally. So those are some of the use cases. We also have, of course, plans to create or bring out novel staking use cases that provide even better rewards for our holders. And then finally, of course, we do have kind of plans around stuff like NFTs that we would like to drop through our community, and a token can give you preferred access to that. So that's what it is in terms of the DAO, the guild, and the treasury. We also have kind of thoughts on that from a platform standpoint, which is very interesting, I think, for guild managers and scholars, and Janze can talk to that.
Yep. Yeah. And currently we're still in closed beta, but these are some of the use cases we have planned coming soon. So first would be the staking. By staking PIF tokens on the platform, you'll get access to locked features and reduced limits of certain things, because we'll have tiered plans on the platform, right? So by using that, by staking on the platform, that will help reduce the sell pressure of the token in the open market. We'll also incentivize people to stake it on the platform so that they can unlock other benefits. On the other hand, you can also use the PIF token as a currency for transacting on the platform. And the way we use this here is, you can get discounts to the fiat price. So by buying PIF tokens, instead of paying $100 fiat, you can pay like $75 in fiat in PIF terms, right? So that, on the other hand, will help the buying pressure of PIF, because why not? It's 25% discount just by buying the token. So those are the two mechanisms we have right now for the platform. One is to reduce the sell pressure by staking, and the other is to promote upwards buy pressure by using it as a currency.
So it makes it just easier within the ecosystem there of the platform to just trade and sell, even within the scholars and everyone in there, and you get some benefits in terms of discounts, and then the future of the treasury and everything like that token potentially could go up. So if you actually stake a lot more into the PIF token, it has its current rate, but then in the future, that rate could even double up, right? So then you can make double the money on that.
Correct.
Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely.
Look, we're running pretty close on time here, so I'm just gonna ask one question. I think there's like 3 or 4 people asking basically the same one across the board here, both from John and Katrina. And they're saying the PIF Guild currently has 3,000 plus scholars across Asia. And are you currently open or accepting new scholars in your guild? If so, what are the requirements for joining the guild?
Awesome. It's a great question. So we are constantly looking at and interviewing and accepting new scholars. Right now, our operations are primarily in the Philippines and Indonesia, and we run scholarships across a roster of 4 games: Peg Axie, Axie Infinity, Titan Arena, and Dragonary. But we are constantly in the lab looking at other games that we want to roll out to the community. They're really so follow our socials closely. We are going to announce news around new markets that we'll be entering and also new games that we'll be launching. And really what it comes down to it is really engaging with the community, contributing, and really just having fun in a PIF guild ecosystem to be onboarded. And what's great with what we're doing is that if you can't find a scholarship with us when Janze launches the P2E board, maybe you can find a different manager there, and you're still gonna be like interacting with the ecosystem.
Oh, that's a great point. I mean, we're all about openness, right? We're releasing this tool so that we can share the tools that we built ourselves to other guilds and to other scholars for them to enjoy. I mean, that's really the beauty of this space. It's all about collaboration and helping each other. So yeah, feel free to sign up there, post your profile, apply to other guilds with other postings. And maybe one manager will pick you up, and then that starts your journey off in P2E.
Yeah, as someone who just joined your Discord channel as well, I feel like there's a lot of this information that could be found in the Discord. For the team that's listening on the back end, I think this is a great time to kind of drop in all those different links, both to join the Discord and any of the social channels, because getting quite a lot of questions regarding how to join the guild or get in as potential scholars. So I think that's just going to help a lot of the people here listening right now. I have a personal question regarding the token, right? So like, when are you guys planning on launching, and how, let's just say if I wanted to get some, how would I go about getting that? So when is it launching? How do I get access to it?
Awesome. That's a great question. So we are kind of like 2 days out from the actual formal start of the copper launch auction. So we both posted the links. We'll repost them over the coming days in terms of how you can participate. We are going to be launching our token, which is essentially our ICO, on the Copper platform. It will run from Jan 19, 1 p.m. UTC, or 9 p.m. Singapore time, until Jan 22, Saturday, same time, 1 p.m. UTC, 9 p.m. Singapore time, which means that you essentially have 72 hours to think about it, buy, wait for the price that's attractive to you, and get yourself some PIF tokens. You'll need USDC or ETH in your MetaMask wallet, and also ETH to pay for gas. And all of the instructions are in our socials, but we'll make sure to answer any questions you have on our Telegram, Discord, wherever you can find us. Don't hesitate to ask, and we'll get you an answer straight away. Following that, we will launch and list our token on Uniswap right after the close of the Copper launch. And then we also are in conversations with some centralized exchanges to get listed there. That just gives our community more options for them to purchase and find PF tokens if they wanted to.
Sick. And I just want to just give a shout out here in terms of the pricing here. So on the chat channel, there is a link to Copper Launch if you guys are interested to save. And just above that, the pricing starts at $1.26 and 7 decimal whatever. So yeah. Look, I don't want to go over too much time here, guys. So I just want to start wrapping things up. I want to thank you guys very much, Janze and Cholo, for giving us your time. Before I do the final wrap up, right, I want to give you guys a little, a minute each or so to kind of let those who are listening right now kind of any insights on what's happening on the back end. So not only are you guys launching the ICO and the copper option for the token soon, but I've also heard you guys have just onboarded some big names in the gaming industry as advisors and consultants to kind of help you guys push this agenda forward. So let us know a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I'll let Cholo introduce them. Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. So yeah, we've been hard at work forming our advisory board and really giving us that into what is going to be the next big thing in play to earn. So we've actually recently onboarded two kind of like big names in regards to gaming. One is Paul Lin Chen, the head of APAC strategy and business development for Activision Blizzard. Really gives us a huge well of knowledge to tap into when you think about how are other AAA game studios looking at this space. And we've also onboarded the CEO of Wilder World, Dave Waslin, on our advisory board, which then gives the other side of the coin. Really, how is the metaverse going to shape up, and how can we really leverage that connectivity to bring great outcomes to our community? So I think awesome people to have on our advisory board really gives us a huge knowledge base to tap into, and we'll continue to bring more additive and more contributors to the advisory board over the next couple of weeks and months.
Nice. Janze, anything else to add?
Oh, cool. We have the same advisor, so he pretty much covered it.
All right, guys. That's it for the time we have today. If you look into the comment channels on social, you'll see a bunch of links. I highly recommend to follow all the socials, but very specifically get onto the Discord channel. It's got lots of information there. I see tons of scholars asking. There's also a wait list that you could get onto where I think guild members or guild leaders and everything can kind of find you and cherry pick things like that. Cholo, Janze, thank you for your time and joining today's AMA session. Just before we leave on the back end, we're going to ask another poll just before you guys go. If you can give us some ideas of what kind of topics you'd like to see in the future, what kind of topics that we can touch on a bit more specific on and things like that. So yep, don't forget to follow those channels for more updates and everything. That's all I have for you guys for today, guys. Hope you have a great day. Everyone that's listening, thank you for joining. That's it for me. Gary Koay out. Peace, guys.
Thanks, man.
Bye.
See everyone.
Cheers, everyone. Bye.
See you, everyone.